Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do questions on standard form. These questions are from IGCSE Edexcel Maths, Higher, paper code 4 MA1. Through these questions, you can also learn how to solve standard form questions for GCSE Edexcel Maths as well as O-level maths and IGCSE Cambridge Maths. So without further delay, let's start with the questions. It says work out 6.7 times 10 to the power of 135 plus 3 times 10 to the power of 134. Give your answer in standard form. So one thing you can do is you can directly put this in the calculator and solve it. The other thing you can do is that when you are adding two numbers which are in standard form, we can begin with taking the highest common factor common. So over here, if you notice, our highest common factor is the 10, because there's a 10 with both 6.7 and 3. So what we will do is we will take the highest common factor common, which is going to be 10 to the power of 134. Not just 10 or 10 to the power of 135, it's going to be 10 to the power of 134, because 10 to the power of 134 is common between 10 to the power of 134 and 10 to the power of 135. Why? 10 to the power of 135 can be split into 10 times 10 to the power of 134. So that makes this common. So we take this common outside, and inside the bracket, we'll be left with the remaining terms, which is going to be 6.7 times 10 for the first one, and then plus 3 for the second one. Now 6.7 times 10 is 67. 67 plus 3 is 70. So 70 times 10 to the power of 134. Now this is not the answer in standard form. In standard form, the decimal comes after the first non-zero digit. Over here, there is no decimal. But if there was, it would be after 0, not after 7. So every whole number has a decimal, as I said. 70.0 is the same as 70. So we have to move this decimal one place to the left side. So that's going to be 7.0 times 10 to the power of 135. When you're moving it to the left side, we're adding a decimal place, so the power increases. If you're moving it to the right side, then you're reducing it, so then the power decreases. So 7 times 10 to the power 135 is your answer. Next question says that write 5.6 times 10 to the power of negative 3 as an ordinary number. So there are two formats that we'll be dealing with: the standard form and the ordinary number. Standard form is when your number is written as times 10 to the power of something. Ordinary number is the format in which the number is written without the power. So 5.6 times 10 to the power of negative 3 means that we're going to move this decimal 3 places to the left. So when you move it 3 places to the left, we're left with 0.0056. This is the number in ordinary number form. This is standard form. So this is standard. This is ordinary. So it's written as like a complete number, that's the ordinary number form. If it's written as something times 10 to the power of something, that is your standard number form. The answer would be 0.0056. Then work out 6 times 10 to the power of 3 divided by 2.1 times 10 to the power of negative 4 plus 9 times 10 to the power of negative 5. Give your answer in standard form. So now first we will simplify the denominator, and then we solve the numerator and denominator. So for the denominator, you can just plug this directly in the calculator, and that would give you 6 times 10 to the power of 3 over 0.0021 plus 0.0009. Then you solve this in the calculator, which is 0.0003. Now 6 times 10 to the power of 3 is 6,000. So 6,000 divided by 0.0009 3 is going to give us 20 million. And then we write this in standard form, which is going to be 2.0 times 10 to the power of 7. Because we move the decimal 7 places to the left. So you can easily solve these directly in the calculator as well. You just plug in the equation, but do it step by step to avoid any confusion and an incorrect answer. In question 7 says that write 9.32 times 10 to the power of negative 5. Exact same thing as we did in the previous one. We're going to get rid of the 10 to the power of negative 5. So if it's negative power, you move the decimal that many places to the left side. If it's a positive power, you move the decimal that many places to the right side. Over here, the power is negative 5. So 9.32 times 10 to the power of negative 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's going to be 0.0000 4 zeros, the 932. That's your ordinary number. Then work out 3 times 10 to the power 5 minus 6 times 10 to the power 4 if you answer in standard form. So now we're subtracting two standard form numbers. So you can take 10 to the power 4 common. That leaves us with 3 times 10 minus 6. 3 times 10 is 30. 30 minus 6. That's 24 times 10 to the power of 4. Now they want the answer in standard form. So that means the decimal comes after the first non-zero digit. So that's going to be 2.4. And the power of 10 increases by 1. So 10 to the power of 5. That's the answer. Then we are multiplying two standard form numbers. So in multiplication, what you will do is you can multiply 3 and 6 to each other. And then for the tens, if you remember the rules of indices, when we are multiplying similar bases, we add the powers. So we will add the power of 55 and 65 for the 10. So what I mean by that is 3 times 6 is 18. And then we have 10 to the power of 55 plus 65. So 55 plus 65 is 120. So now the answer needs to be in standard form, which means the decimal needs to come after 1. It's going to be 1.8 times 10 to the power of 121. We increase the power by 1 because the decimal moved one place to the left. So that's your answer. Then says the table gives information about the population, total amount of money in dollars spent on healthcare for two countries in 2016. So if Austria and Luxembourg, work out how much more money was spent per person on healthcare in Luxembourg than in Austria. Give your answer correct to the nearest whole number. So per person. So right now we have total population and total money spent on healthcare. So for Austria, we divide the total money spent on healthcare by total population to get how much was spent on healthcare by one person, by each person. So it's going to be 4.2 times 10 to the power of 10 divided by 8.7 times 10 to the power of 6. Similarly, for Luxembourg, 3.7 times 10 to the power of 9 is divided by 6.3 times 10 to the power of 5. So you can just solve these in the calculator. 0.48275 times 10 to the power of 4, which is going to be 4.8275 times 10 to the power of 3. If you notice, when you move the decimal to the right side, now we subtracted 1 from the power. We didn't add. When you're moving the decimal towards the left side, we were adding 1. Similarly, for Luxembourg, it's going to be 0.58730 times 10 to the power of 4. So now we move the decimal one place to the right side. So that's going to be 5.87301. and then subtract 1 from the power, so 10 to the power of 3. So they want us to find how much was spent per person on healthcare in Luxembourg, Dania, and Austria. So we subtract 5.87301 times 10 to the power of 3 and 4.8275 times 10 to the power of 3. So 5.87301 times 10 to the power of 3 minus 4.8275 times 10 to the power of 3. That's going to give us 104.542. And now they want the answer to the nearest whole number, so that's going to be $1045. That is the amount spent per person on healthcare in Luxembourg, Dania, and Austria. Then question 8 says, write 5 times 10 to the power 4 as an ordinary number. So it's the same thing that we did previously. We just get rid of the times 10 to the power 4. So since the power is positive now, that means you move the decimal to the right side. It's going to be 5 times 10 to the power of 4. So since the decimal comes after the whole number, so we move it 4 places. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's going to be 5, 0, and then 3 more zeros. So 50,000. That's the ordinary number. Then write 0.00006 in standard form. So as we said, the decimal needs to come after the first non-zero digit. So that means you'll move the decimal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 places to the right side. So 6.0 times 10 to the power of negative 5. That's your answer. Then work out 4 times 10 to the power of 512 divided by 1.6 times 10 to the power of 700. So 4 times 10 to the power of 512 divided by 1.6 times 10 to the power of 700. You can directly plug this in the calculator, which will give us 2.5 times 10 to the power of negative 188. That's your answer. Next question says that the table gives information about the population correct to 2 significant figures of each of 5 cities in 2018. Write 8.8 times 10 to the power of 6 as an ordinary number. So we just get rid of this part. So we move the decimal places 6 places to the right. So that's going to be 8, 8, and then we're going to have 5 zeros. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 8,800,000 or 8,800,000. Which of these cities had the least population in 2018? So for the least population, we look at the least powers first. So that's for these three. So out of these three, Barcelona has the smallest number. That's 5.5 times 10 to the power of 6. So it's Barcelona. Work out the difference between the population of Turkey and the population of Ahmedabad in 2018. So 3.7 times 10 to the power of 7 minus 7.7 times 10 to the power of 6. So 10 to the power of 6 common bracket 3.7 times 10 minus 7.7. So that's 10 to the power of 6 times 37 minus 7.7. That's 29.3 times 10 to the power of 6. So they want the answer in standard form correct to 2 significant figures. So 2.9 times 10 to the power of 7. That's the answer. If you move the decimal 1 place to the left side, because in standard form, the decimal needs to come after the first non-zero digit, and then we add 1 to the power. And since it says 2 significant figures, so we remove the 3. 2 and 9 are the first 2 significant figures. Then the next question says our table gives the average crowd attendance per match of each of 5 football clubs for one season. Find the difference between the average crowd attendance for Barcelona and the average crowd attendance for Monaco, giving the answer in standard form. So Barcelona and Monaco. So that's going to be 7.7 times 10 to the power 4 minus 9.5 times 10 to the power of 3. is going to give us 67,500. So in standard form, that's going to be 6.75 times 10 to the power of 4. Then Antonio says the average crowd attendance for Chelsea is approximately 50 times that for Oxford United. Is Antonio correct? You must give a reason for your answer. So for that, we can divide the average crowd attendance for Chelsea by the average crowd attendance for Oxford United. So 4.2 times 10 to the power of 4 divided by 8.3 times 10 to the power of 3. That gives us 5.06. So it's not 50 times, it's approximately 5 times. So Antonio is not correct.